Well, Donald Trump, someone who says that he is all about loyalty, has now turned on one of the people who's been the most loyal to him in his career as president, then post-president as a politician, and it's Kayleigh McEnany. Trump has turned on his former press secretary, who publicly, repeatedly humiliated herself in honor of him to lie on his behalf, defined herself by the lies for him, and now he's no longer on board with her. She is milquetoast, according to Trump. So I'll show you that Truth Social message in a moment. Then I'll show you some responses to it from others. But first, here's the moment that he's responding to in the message we're going to get to, or the post that we're going to get to on Truth Social. She's, of course, now a Fox News host or correspondent, and said this.
Interesting, because it's a riff in the party, right?
A riff.
You've got the conservatives on one side, you've got the McCarthyites on the other. So where does he fall? Well, we had him on yesterday. He kind of gave us a little bit of a hint in that direction. But I think you're going to see this all come to head here in Iowa. And then Thursday, of course, it's going to be a big deal. And the DeSantis team would say, we just had polling come out that shows we closed the gap by 9 points since we announced in Iowa. Still, Trump's hugely ahead, but they say they're closing the gap. That's their argument.
Hugely.
Look, if you look at the
Bigly.
polling now, it was Trump 34 in Iowa. It's now Trump 25.
Still a big
That's
lead.
double digits.
Still
Yes.
a very big lead. Kayleigh, thank you so much.
Okay. So did you see the huge criticism there? Did you see just the anti-Trump monster that she was? No. It was just pointing out, I guess, polling, and he thinks it's inaccurate. And he wrote, Kayleigh milquetoast, but spelled it like combining the word milk and toast together. McEnany just gave out the wrong poll numbers on Fox News. I am 34 points up on The Sanctimonious, not 25 up. While 25 is great, it's not 34. She knew the number was corrected upwards by the group that did the poll. The rhinos and globalists can have her. She's a rhino and globalist now. Kayleigh McEnany. Fox News should only use real stars. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. That's brutal. It's kind of like what I talked about with the Ron DeSantis segment. If Fox News, after they fired Tucker Carlson, can get called woke by the right wing, then woke means nothing. It means Zippo. Same here. If Kayleigh McEnany can get called a rhino and a globalist, those terms mean nothing. Well, they mean something, but they don't mean much, or it's not relevant to us, I guess. Really wild. And I want to remind you that Trump is always so angry at Ron DeSantis for not being loyal.
Are you angry, Mr. President, that Ron DeSantis entered the race?
No, I think he's a very disloyal person because he was dead. He was looking for jobs, and I endorsed him, and he won up many points.
So we've heard that many times. Disloyal person, disloyal person. What Trump never seems to contend with is the fact that he's a really disloyal person. He only cares about loyalty if it's directed towards him, obviously. But he would never do that for someone else. Kayleigh McEnany served him horribly and dishonestly, but well, for the goals that Trump had, and he won't even return any loyalty to her. Very unfortunate. And it's a reminder, and then I'll show you Brian Kilmeade was upset about this, and we'll also get to Chip Roy trolling Kayleigh McEnany over this. But it's a reminder, as I've said with Mike Pence, don't do this, guys. As I've said with Mike Pence every time, he did the correct thing on January 6th, but up until that point, and even after in some serious ways, he just completely humiliated himself to be loyal to Trump, other than January 6th, and violated all of his principles as a religious man to go along with someone like Trump, and was with him every step of the way until the end. And that led to a brutal situation. He didn't deserve that, even with all of his violations of his own principles and dishonesty. Still, a mob shouldn't be sicked on you, of course. But it did lead to, in such a grand and brutal, disgusting way, the thing that everyone warned about. Trump won't be loyal to you. This isn't going to end well. And that's what happened. Pence for one moment wasn't perfectly loyal, and then Trump sicked a mob on him on January 6th. And so, as I've said, the path of dishonesty inevitably leads. I love this phrase. It's so true. Okay, it's so true, so profound. To dishonesty. The path of dishonesty inevitably leads to humiliation, and that's what happened with Mike Pence. That's what happened with Kayleigh McEnany. No matter how loyal you are, you're never going to be perfect for Trump, and he's going to turn on you, and you're going to be humiliated, and that's on you, Kayleigh McEnany. That's on you. So just be honest. Don't violate your principles. Don't be dishonest for somebody else. Don't be loyal to someone as fascistic and terrible as Trump. Just be good. And then you won't be in such an embarrassing situation like this one. Here was Brian Kilmeade on Fox News, upset about this.
Shot to Ron DeSantis now. Yesterday, he gave a series of speeches. He's going to have 12, his first stop in a 12-city tour throughout Iowa. He's going to stop over New Hampshire and come back. Some subtle shots at Trump. Restoring sanity means we got every major institution in our country going on ideological joyrides. We have to be guided by reality, by facts, by our enduring principles. So it could be 3 shots at common weaknesses of the president. They say he make things up. They say
So he turns it around to saying they say he makes things up. But I love how he said reality, facts, and principles, 3 of Trump's weaknesses or something like that. Yeah, I agree, Brian.
Flies off the handle. For example, attacking Kayleigh McEnany is insane. She's one of the best press secretaries ever. Dana Perino, as Ari Fleischer are watching too.
I guess that was him trying to say best press secretaries ever. And he called it insane to attack her. Wow. Coming out in defense of Kayleigh McEnany. Brian Kilmeade is one of the hosts on Fox News that seems to really wish that DeSantis could be the guy, so he's less just fully loyal to Trump all the time, but still a Fox News host. And then Republican Congressman Chip Roy went on Fox News, and again, the term was milquetoast, but spelled incorrectly, but still milquetoast, that Trump used, and so he said this.
Starting with you, Congressman Chip Roy, what is the realistic alternative to this? Because I understand we wouldn't formally default. We can pay the interest on our debt, but our debt could be downgraded, and that could be catastrophic. So what is the realistic alternative to this deal?
Well, thanks, Kayleigh. First of all, everything that we're seeing out of the bill that was put forward, this deal, this hatch this weekend, is pretty milquetoast, if that word might mean something to you. But frankly, the real problem we face is
starting.
I love when. So there was the troll, hilarious. I love whenever people. I've done this on the show before too. You put so much of your mental effort into a joke you're going to tell or something clever you think you're going to say, but it's only funny if you say it and then you get back to your point, but you get so caught up, like there he said, if milquetoast means anything to you, but and then you're like, wait, where am I was all of my energy was going into thinking of that statement I was going to make, and now I'm all lost and I forgot my point. And that's kind of what that seemed to be. So there it is. Kayleigh McEnany is milquetoast in the eyes of Trump. What a bummer.